This is Charlie Parsons for Boxing Social in association with Betfred here on Zoom today with Mr. Harlem Eubank. Harlem, how are you, mate?
Very well, thanks, mate. How's everything going?
Yeah, all good, bro. All good. Let's jump into it. Obviously, yourself unbeaten, out not too long ago now, I think. Obviously, with Wasserman, how's things going? I imagine ticking over in them at the minute until you get yourself a new date.
Things are going well. Training hard as usual, and in the thick of camp. Waiting to announce a fight. Sorry, waiting to announce a fight that's already kind of been locked in, but not officially announced yet. So yeah, waiting to confirm that date. But in terms of training, I'm gearing up to a fresh fight date, and I'm going to end the year nice and busy.
Of course, I won't make you spoil that, and I know that you wouldn't anyway. But just in terms of obviously, we've seen you gradually picking up momentum on a bigger stage. From yourself now, what can we expect in the next couple of year or two? If I said to you, what was that target that you had in the back of the mind for yourself?
To get closer to becoming a world champion. I think picking up titles along the way and developing in the art form as I have been and as I'll continue to do. My momentum in the gym and in fights hasn't slowed at all. And I'm just, focused on becoming more accomplished in the art form. And with that comes titles, comes closing in the gap on that dream of becoming a world champion.
So for you, just closing that gap fight by fight, staying ready, always professional, composed at all times.
Most definitely. I live the life. I train harder than I train as hard or harder than my peers around me. And I'm focused on becoming a world champion, and there's a process to that, developing over a number of years, and I've been doing that over the last the last few years since I've been a professional. I've applied myself in that manner all the way through, and I'll continue to do so until I achieve what I set out to in the sport.
Of course, and then moving on, I think every interview you do from now, what's going to Chris Eubank Jr. We saw the gloves are off, the face-off that they had with each other. Senior has come out and said, look, we won't allow the fight at 157. I spoke to Callis Howland yesterday. He said the fight will go on. The contract isn't with Senior, and that was with the most respect to Senior. Chris Eubank today has put out a post, saying that he's ready. I think 17 days or however many days it is until he can get in the ring for marbles, he said, yeah. Just your reaction to those comments when it came out with the article?
I think what everyone has to remember is that Junior has his own mind and Senior has his own mind. So what Junior wants to do isn't necessarily the same as what Senior wants. So obviously, Senior shared his opinions about the fight, but it doesn't necessarily change how the fight between Junior and Benn will proceed, because Junior is his own man and he'll do what he wants to do at the end of the day.
Junior did say in the face-off that he wanted his dad to be there in his corner as the head coach. I'm assuming that's not the case now. Obviously, we've seen bits online that Junior has got himself a trainer. It's not Roy Jones Jr. A few changes there, obviously, but I spoke to Callie yesterday. He said, look, there's no real problems for him making the weight. But will that be a bit of a mental thing? The fact that, look, Conor's going to have Nigel in the corner. Junior wants Senior, but judging by Senior's comments, you're part of the family. Do you think Senior will be there on fight night and in Chris's corner?
I think he will be. I think, it's family dynamics. It's sometimes you're not necessarily going to have the same opinion as other people in the family, and issues get resolved. And I think when it comes to fight night, I think Senior will be there with Junior. But yeah, I think, if not, then I don't think it's, the end of the world. Junior's in there to fight, and if Senior will be there, then it will make it even better. But I don't think it will be. I don't think it will be detrimental to whether the fight goes ahead at all. But yeah, there's still, like Junior says, 24 days until the fight, and anything can happen in them 24 days. But the fight will go ahead regardless.
And just finally on that, if I had to push you for a prediction, Junior said, look, he can stop Conor Benn. He can knock him out. He said it would be a walk on a park on a nice sunny day.
Summer's day.
How do you think that fight goes?
I honestly think it goes however Junior wants it to go. I think it will, if it's purely, if he hasn't got it in his head about dictating the fight to make Conor look more competitive than it will be naturally, then maybe it can go more rounds. But if they both go in there to take each other out, then I think Junior will stop him around the halfway mark. But yeah, I don't know what Junior has in his head, whether he wants to make it more competitive or not, or matter. But I think it's in Chris's hands what he decides to do.
And then, sorry, we've got a bit of lag here that I'm working with as well. But just finally from me, we've seen Joshua Fury. Anthony Joshua's 258 management have put out a post saying, look, the fight can go ahead. They've accepted all of Tyson Fury's terms. Eddie Hearn said, look, we wanted more negotiation power, but they said, look, these are the terms, take them or leave them. They've bowed down. They've taken the terms. Do we see this fight on December the 3rd?
I think so. I think it's a good time for both of them. I think, sometimes things happen and just come off the back of 2 losses, but does it matter? Not necessarily. We want to see that Fury fight, and maybe the fact that he's taken a few losses, he doesn't really mind about protecting a record anymore, and he just wants to fight. And I think that's great for the fans, because we're going to see 2 of the biggest guys in the sport go head to head, and that's an exciting prospect. And I think now's the time, because people aren't as concerned about contracts or trying to get a little bit more than I think now it's just the time where they're like, let's capitalize on being 2 of the biggest guys in the sport and giving the fans the fight they want to see.
That's what people are saying. They're like, it shouldn't be this straightforward. In the past, it's been this straightforward, but this time maybe it really is this straightforward. Maybe we can get that fight.
Yeah, I think there's a time and a place for everything, and maybe you needed to experience a few setbacks to get the biggest fight in boxing, and maybe that's what we as boxing fans are about to experience now. Could be on the horizon in December, and that's very exciting.
Well, Harlem, thank you very much for your time speaking to me at Boxing Social. Just a final message to the people watching.
Stay tuned. Fight date coming very soon, and follow me on all social platforms: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Harlem Eubank straight through. Announcing fight news very soon, and going to finish the year with a bang.
My guy, thank you very much.